office bearers, and members of the All India Association of Schools for the Indian Certificate Examination. I feel greatly honored and privileged to be here this afternoon at your 58th annual conference. I bring to you greetings from the Council. I am sure you have been enlightened with the LICR solution and also the Office 365. Just to continue with what Mr. Govind has been speaking to you, it's a new solution. It's something new that Council has introduced, and your examiners will be facing at the evaluation center. But please do not panic during the evaluation or during the examination. Before the examination begins, we will do our level best to train the examiners, and we will send the CDs and pamphlets, as I've already mentioned, to the schools, to the conveners, so that the conveners in turn should be in a position to explain this particular LICR solution to the examiners at that particular region. Because we'll do our part as far as the chief, co-chief examiners are concerned in New Delhi. But if you do find any difficulty, it's something new, I said, please don't panic, but immediately get to the Council. The 3 officers are here on stage. Get in touch with them or with me, and we will definitely help you. There's a help desk also. You can also contact the help desk. And Orion will keep a very close watch while the evaluation is being done. Now, before we take up questions that have been sent to us, and maybe from the floor of the House, you would like to ask some questions, I would like to brief you on what the Council has been doing in the last year, the last that I met you in New Delhi last year. Currently, there are 2,157 schools affiliated to the Council, which includes schools abroad. The number is steadily increasing each year. There are 1,106 schools upgraded to ASISC and 10 schools affiliated for the Certificate of Vocational Examination. As per the All India statistics for the ICSE March 2015 examination, 1,58,833 candidates had appeared from 1,927 schools. For the ISC March 2015 examination, 71,141 candidates had appeared from 909 schools. The pass percentage for ICSE was 98.49%. It was up by 0.21% from last year. ISC was 96.28%, up by 1.01% from last year. As usual, our girls have fared better than our boys at both the ISC and ICSE examination. This was the Council's best results ever achieved in the past years. In the All India Merit List for ICSE and ISC 2015 examinations, The toppers secured 99.20% in ICSE and 99.75% in ISC. For the CVE, that is the Certificate of Vocational Examination Year 2015 examination, 4 schools presented candidates, 135 candidates, 128 candidates passed, 6 were unsuccessful, and 1 was absent. The Council, for the 6th year, has successfully conducted the centralized evaluation of answer scripts for the ICSE and ISC examinations. ICSE had 368 centralized evaluation centers and 5,704 examiners. ISC had 365 centralized evaluation centers and 3,042 examiners across the country. I take this opportunity to sincerely thank all heads of schools for providing their premises along with the infrastructure and facility for conducting the centralized evaluation of answer scripts for subjects allotted to that particular center. I also thank all heads of schools for sending their examiners for the centralized evaluation. Now, moving on to supervising examiners. This is a reminder. Supervising examiners and examiners kindly make sure that they are experienced, committed, and sincere in discharging their duties. They also need to acquaint themselves with the rules for conducting these examinations. Now comes the most difficult task of the Council: shortage of examiners. For both ICSE and ISC examination, it is a continuous perennial issue. Lack of adequate number of examiners in a certain subject puts a lot of pressure on the examiners and also leads to extension of correction period, which inconveniences the schools who have nominated their teachers as examiners, as well as the schools or schools that offer their premises to be the center of evaluation. And most importantly, the number of scripts are increased, resulting in the examiners either overmarking or undermarking. These are your children. You have to look after your children. You took great care of your children from the nursery class to class 10 or 12. Now they have to leave school with a good result. Make sure that you send us sufficient number of examiners and experienced ones so that your children do not suffer at the end of their academic session. Just to give you an example of this, of the examiners, regarding shortage and regarding examiners. When I mentioned to you experience, committed examiners, and lack of examiners, first I would take up the experienced and committed ones. There was a center where the examiner was given 200 or 300, 250 to 300 scripts. The examiner went through maybe 1 or 2 bundles, maybe 100, 150, and the rest the examiner didn't mark. Just place the marks. Please make sure you don't send such examiners. It's criminal on the part of the examiner, on the part of the teacher, and to our students. Fortunately, we have team leaders, chief and co-chief, who go through the scripts at random, and it was discovered. But if they were not there, we wouldn't have discovered. All we would have got was the marks. Now, either the children have been overmarked or undermarked. This kind of situation should be avoided. This is in your interest, in the interest of our children. So when you choose supervising examiners, they should be supervising examiners who know how to conduct this examination, especially the class 12 exam, the ISC. And the same goes to the examiners. See that they are the examiners of that particular subject, that they are teaching that subject. We get complaints that they are not teaching those subjects, but they have been sent. Conveners report to us. Now, what do? We do go through the form that you fill in and send to us. And the council, as you all know, we have all the trust and faith in our principals. So we trust and believe that you are sending us the right people for the purpose that they are being sent for. This is a sincere request. Now, since we are going in for something new, I would sincerely request you to choose very good teachers as evaluators. Especially, they should be committed, not come for just the money. Council pays well. So council expects and you expect, because after all, your papers, your children's scripts are going to another school or center. So please do keep to our request, and I hope we would have no problem during the 2016 examination. Now, it has been observed at the 2015 examinations, number of schools made a token nomination of either one examiner or no examiners at all. It is mandatory for all schools to nominate examiners for all subjects for which they are presenting candidates for the ISC or ICSE examination, in proportion to the number of candidates being presented for each of the subjects. As per the decision of the council, when I say council, it's the council body, not the officers and myself. Right? So, the decision of the council, after they have been informed, our members have been informed by our officers that this is the situation. It is a decision that failure to nominate examiners will result in such schools not being granted independent examination centers for the forthcoming ICSE and ISC examinations. It's no threat, but it's a firm statement. That's all. Number of examiners required for ICSE is approximately 6,000 examiners. This is for 2016 exam. So far, 474 schools are yet to nominate examiners